Hello, welcome to Video Mania 2. I'm the man behind the counter, Duncan, and today we're going to talk about a new Blu-ray release that is an upgrade from the original Blu-ray release, and if it's worth it or not. It is a lesser talked about Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It is Death Warrant. This was from early on in his career, and I think it's absolutely great. And it stars Jean-Claude Van Damme, of course. It also stars Patrick Kilpatrick, Cynthia Gibb, Art LaFleur, and Robert Guillaume. Is directed by Darren Sarafian, and it was the first script written by David S. Goyer, who went on to write the Blade trilogy. He directed the third one. He had a hand in writing the Dark Knight trilogy, and he had a hand in writing Batman vs. Superman. So he's written more comic book movies recently. But this was his first script. Now, this movie, Van Damme plays a Canadian detective named Louis Burke, and in California prisons, a lot of inmates are turning up dead, and there's some people in the government, local government, want to figure out why, so they get Louis Burke in from out of the country, since none of the inmates will know who he is, and he goes undercover in the prison to find out what's going on. And Cynthia Gibb plays Amanda Beckett, who will be his liaison and poses his wife, and she's going to find out what's going on in the outside world, how it's connected, and find out what all's going in there. So Louis Burke goes to the prison, and he uses his martial arts skills and his detective skills to figure out what's really going on, and he encounters a lot of different people, most of whom are not very friendly, so, you have to be a tough guy in there. So, a lot of cool fight scenes, and he has to solve a mystery too, what's going on. This is a great movie. Now, Van Damme's really early movies with him in the league were pretty much straight up martial arts movies, and they are amazing. But this was like his first kind of action thriller, and it's really good. It still has the Van Damme kicks and the fight scenes you expect from him, but like I said, more of an action thriller role here, and it's really good, and pretty well acted, so I really liked it. It's a good, tight script, and it's done in an hour and a half, so it's a great movie. And I really like the production design of the prison. The producers did a great job of putting it together. It really takes you into this world, so that's all top-notch. Now, I'm going to talk about the audio and visual quality and if this is worth an upgrade. I was kind of on the fence about upgrading or not. I wasn't sure, because I had an old bare bones Blu-ray, and you know what kind of pushed me over the top? This sounds trivial, but it just bugged me because I'm a hardcore Jean-Claude Van Damme fan. This is the bare bones Blu-ray. Now, it looks pretty cool artwork. It's not like the ones we grew up with when we rented it, but I don't have a problem with different artwork, but here's what drove me nuts. See this right here? That's Van Damme, another climactic fight from one of his iconic movies, but it's from Lionheart. It's when his character is taking on Attila in the climactic fight scene of Lionheart, and it's put on the cover of Death Warrant, and that always made me crazy. It was a big mistake, and I didn't like it. So, when I found about this new release, and it's a 2K scan of the interpositive, and it had a few special features, not a lot, but some, I was like, okay, I'm sold. I'd rather have the one with the artwork as it was meant to be. So, the special features, I think this movie, it was scanned a couple years ago because it has an interview with Art LaFleur, who is sadly no longer with us, but he talks about his character as Sergeant DeGraff and his experience making the movie and auditioning for the role. It was about 7 minutes, and then there's a 10-minute interview with Patrick Kilpatrick. He talks about his experience making it. He played the Sandman. So they both talked about their experiences there, so that was a good insight into the film. There's no more special features. I kind of wish there were. Now let's get into the visual quality. It's a 2K scan of the interpositive, like I said, and here, this movie, it doesn't have a lot of vibrant colors, but they do pop on the scenes outside the prison. In the prison, the texture on the walls and floors are more visible, and it's a very natural, filmic looking presentation now, and I really liked it. I was, surprisingly pleased with this. I wasn't sure if this would be worth it or not, but it is. I really liked it. The audio This doesn't have a big bombastic musical score, so that doesn't really stand out as much, but you can hear the background noise a little bit better, background chatter, and the punches and kicks hit a little bit harder. So overall, this is definitely worth the upgrade. And it was done by Scorpion Releasing as far as the scan and the audio and stuff like that. And I bought this off a website called Ronin Flicks, which it's also available on Amazon, but Ronin Flicks does cult movies, and this is a new release. It had it on there, so I decided to give them a shot, and they delivered it in good order and in good shape, so I'm very happy. Here's the slipcover. Back here, nothing really special about the artwork. It's pretty basic. And there's the disc. But overall, very happy I got this. I watched it last night, and I'm very, very pleased. So, a lesser talked about Van Damme movie that I think is a classic is getting its due here. So, if you're a fan of Van Damme, I really recommend it. Also, if you like older movies, older classic action movies and martial arts from back in the day, please give Video Mania 2 a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Until next time, bring me a dream.